Hello YouTube, my name is Insane Rocker coming at you from Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. Today we'll be having a discussion rant video over Tier 0 decks. I will be talking about whether I think they are good or bad. I'll be talking about some of the most potent ones in my opinion from the past. And feel free to leave your comments down below. Let's get started. So what is a Tier 0 deck, first of all? A Tier 0 deck is any deck that cannot be consistently beaten by anything except for itself. So, essentially, unless you are playing this deck, good luck winning consistently at any event, past a locals. First off is Teledad from 2008. Yes, I know this is not the earliest Tier 0 deck, but it is one of the earlier ones, and it is one of my favorites. This deck essentially played a draw engine plus a 2800 point beat stick that could pop any amount of cards as long as it had the fuel in the graveyard to banish, and then would just use a trap card to bring them all back. Your basic play was to activate Reinforcement of the Army to search for Stratos, normal Stratos to add Malicious, activate Destiny Draw, ditch Malicious to draw 2, activate E-Teleport, special Krebins, banish Malicious, and go for a level 8 Synchro whether you use Stardust Dragon, Thought Ruler, Archfiend, or any other decent level 8 at the time. This deck was so powerful because it had access to cards like Dark Armed, Guio Guardian, Stardust Dragon, and had access to powerful, very potent trap cards like Crush Card Virus. It also had very good protection with Krebins, able to just throw them out there in defense mode with E-Teleport, and just sit on him for that turn if need be. Next deck is 6 Spam from 2011. I don't think anyone really enjoyed this except for 6 Samurai players. And this picture pretty much describes it perfectly. Open Gateway and any card that could hold Bushido counters and you win. So, basic combo, activate Gateway, and activate either 6 Samurai United, Shien's Dojo, or Gateway of the 6. Again. And summon any 6 Samurai monster. Remove your Bushido counters. Search for your Kazan, special Kazan, search for Kazan, special Kazan, search for Kazan, special Kazan, go for Shockmaster or Ouroboros and strip my hand away over and over and over again, because guess what? Gateway could add Kazan back from the graveyard, because that's fair, right? One of the most potent hand traps at this time, which is Max C, was basically ineffective in 2011 because of 6 Spam. They would just fill the board up over and over and over again until they decked you out. It was incredibly frustrating to play against this deck. Next is Dragon Rulers from 2013 and a little bit into 2014. Now in 2014 they were not necessarily Tier 0, but they still were a very powerful deck, and I feel that they deserve to have part of 2014 credited to their reign. In 2013, they were undoubtedly the best deck, though. Some resistance came from spellbooks, but not nearly enough to keep Dragon Rulers from taking most top spots at Worlds. And even winning it. Yes, a spellbook player almost did win Worlds, but didn't. And there were not enough spellbook decks or any other decks in tops at Worlds to really justify not saying that Dragon Rulers could be consistently beat by them. Dragon Rulers were so powerful because they could spam out level 7 monsters from the hand, deck, and banished pile, meaning that 7 Swords was a very live card in the deck, and just go into the rank 7 pool, which is one of the best pools of Xyz monsters in the game, having access to things like Big Eye, which is a walking snatch steal, and Draco Sack, which is a defensive monster that you can distribute one of your tokens to pop a card. I can only imagine what it'd be like now if Dragon Rulers had access to a card like Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Imagine this: a Snatch Steal, a Regeki Break, and a chain energy all on legs. Yeah, that would not be fun. Next is Perform Power Perform Age or Pepe from 2016. This deck sucked. I hated playing against it. I did not have the displeasure of playing against it full power at a tournament because I decided that after it came out, I was going to take a break from the competitive scene for a bit. So, lucky for me, that wasn't very long, all of 2 weeks before this deck got completely neutered by the Konami banhammer. And you would think that this was the deck that made them realize a deck that can spam out a board, in this case, with Cyber Dragon Infinity, Traptrix Rafflesia, and Naturia Beast, that shouldn't exist. Sadly, they didn't understand that because they continued to make more Tier 0 decks. But back to Pepe. The basic combo here was activate Monkey Board, search Skullcrobat Joker, summon Joker, search Monkey Board, activate Random Scale, activate Wavering Eyes, burn your opponent for 500, search for Random Scale, activate Monkey Board, search again, activate your other scale, and Pendulum Summon a bunch. And if you happen to get Sorcerer off one of those searches, you could just pop your scales again to search some more. And basically have your built-in Jar of Greed, Lizard Draw, and Gaturtle straight there to do even more with. This deck's consistency was insane, and its level for power was even crazier. And now, because Konami is very slow and doesn't understand when they've done wrong, we have Zodiacs. I pray, and I apologize to any Zodiac players out there that have already invested in the deck, but I pray that this gets hit, just like Pepe did. If it doesn't, I don't know what's going to happen with this format. This format will be just overrun by Zodiacs. As a matter of fact, they had their first legal weekend this past weekend, just 2 days ago. Not trying to date the video or anything, but just 2 days ago with the ARG Circuit Series coming around, and they dominated. Most top spots went to them. As a matter of fact, I believe almost every one of them did, in fact. At my locals, I'm glad I didn't go because I run Rogue, because I find Rogue fun. But it just dominated my locals as well. People went out, they got the cards, pay to win. I don't blame them. If I had the money, I would too. So why is Tier 0 bad? There is one overarching reason why Tier 0 is bad, and that is money. It is bad for players, it is bad for Konami, and it's just bad for the game overall. Because if you were to walk into a Walmart and you see one product on the shelves, only one product, you're going to get that one product if you need it, and that's it. You're going to get one of it and leave. Or 2, 3, 10, however many you need. But it's not like that one product is all you will ever need or all you'll ever use. If Konami has a format that is diverse, like this past format was very diverse if you ask me, with ABCs, Metal Foes, Paleozoic Frogs, Totally Heroes, and Mermails running around, all these different very powerful fun decks running around, Konami was able to sell more product and push more merchandise, as opposed to just Zodiacs or just Pepe or whatever. And so, also as a player, it costs more money if it's a Tier 0 format, because look at Zodiacs now. Barrage is like $90 a copy. It's crazy. And it's bad for the players also, because more casual players that can't afford to spend out several $100s on a single deck just to use it for one format and have it get banned, like me, a poor college student that doesn't have the money for this, it's pushing me away from the competitive scene after I've just gotten back into it. And so it's bad for that as well, because there are less players running around and actually playing the game. Sure, they make all their money off this one thing, but they're making less overall. Now, what makes Tier 0 good? There's only one thing that comes to mind that possibly could make Tier 0 okay to me, and that is that it is very easy to side against it. All you gotta do is learn what beats the deck, build your side deck of 15 cards specifically to beat that deck, and that's it. Now, my thoughts on Tier 0, in case you haven't been able to tell, I hate it. I think it's one of the worst things that could ever happen in this game. I think that a single deck ruling a format is awful. I don't think that any deck should have that power, that just potency to be able to destroy anything in its path. I think that everything has to have a balance. Everything needs to be balanced in some way or form. ABCs and Metal Foes and Paleozoic Frogs, as powerful as they are, some rogue decks could beat them. You throw in a couple of techs and you have a win. But Zodiacs are just so powerful, it's a one-card FTK deck. Pepe would just spam out everything. 6 Samurais, back with 3 Gateway, was just insane. Even Teledad was just so strong that it could not be beaten by anything except for itself. And that, to me, is bad for the game. It is unhealthy. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and share if you feel like it, and have